Now that you know what Redux is, let's look at some of its benefits in action. So this is a food delivery application I have built with React and Redux. On the left, we have food categories such as soups, salads, and so on. We can select a category and add items to our shopping cart. Note that as I'm adding these items, the number of items in the shopping cart gets updated immediately. So let's add a bunch of items. Let's also add an entree. Now let's go to our shopping cart. Once again, we can update the number of each item in the shopping cart. As I'm doing this, the total price for this item, for the cart, as well as the number of items in the shopping cart get updated in real time. So all the data in my application is in sync because we have a single store where we are storing our application state. Let me show you where it is. This is Redux DevTools, a powerful tool for debugging Redux applications. It's an extension to Chrome. So over here, you can see my entire application state tree in one place. So we have these entities. We have our shopping cart. We have our food categories and food items. This auth object over here represents the current user. So we have all the information about the current user and their authentication token. We also have this UI property, which includes some UI state. Now let me show you something powerful. On the left side, you can see all the actions that I have performed in this application. So you can see I've added a bunch of items to my shopping cart. Now, if I remove the first item, green lentil soup, you can see we have a new action here, item removed. If we select this action, we can see the data associated with this action. So over here, I tried to remove the product with ID 5. Now let me show you something very cool. I'm going to put this on the left side so you can see clearly. Let's jump to one of the previous actions. The UI got updated immediately. So we can go back to any of these previous actions and restore the UI in that state. This is called time travel debugging. We can also save the entire application state in a single file and reload the application from it later. How many times have you got a call from your client or your boss telling you that a feature in your application is not working? In these situations, we have to ask them, how did this happen? Tell me the exact steps that you followed. Then we have to repeat all those steps to reproduce the bug. Now, every time we change our code, our application gets reloaded and we have to follow those steps over and over. This is very time consuming. With Redux, we don't have to do this anymore. There's actually a tool called LogRocket that gives you an always-on Redux DevTools in production for every one of your users. So if a user encounters a problem, you can reload the application in the same state as the user and see what was going on. It's very powerful. Another benefit of Redux is that it allows you to cache or preserve page state. Let me show you what I mean. So over here, note that when I refresh the page, you're going to see a loading indicator for 3 seconds, indicating a slow connection. So look, refresh. Here's our loader. Now the menu appears, okay? Now, if we navigate away from this page and then come back to it, the menu is already there. We don't have to re-download it from the server because our entire application state is available on the client inside a single JavaScript object. Also, I can select a filter here, let's say soups, and sort the menu by price. Once again, if we navigate away and then come back, our menu is in its previous state. So let's quickly recap. Redux makes state changes predictable and transparent. We can easily see what exactly is going on and how the application state changes in response to every action. The second benefit of Redux is that it centralizes our application state, so all the data our application needs is stored in a single place that is accessible by all parts of the UI. With Redux, we can also easily debug our applications. We can easily cache or preserve page state and implement undo or redo features. So if your application needs these features, you may want to consider Redux. The great thing about Redux is that it works with any libraries for building UIs. You can use it with React, Angular, Ember, Vue, even vanilla JavaScript. Plus, we have a large and growing ecosystem of add-ons. So these are all the great things about Redux. But all these great things come at a cost. Redux introduces some indirection and complexity in your code. This is partly because Redux is based on functional programming principles, and a lot of developers are not familiar with these concepts. But don't worry, I'm going to teach you the basics of functional programming very soon. Another problem with Redux is that Redux code tends to be verbose. You have to write some boilerplate code to get things done. This is one of the main complaints about Redux. So in this course, first I'm going to show you the traditional way of writing Redux code, which has a lot of boilerplate, but later on, I will show you the modern way of building Redux applications. You're going to learn how to write clean and concise Redux code free of boilerplate. So with all that, is Redux for you or not? We'll talk about that next.